His journey started January 17, 1942, right here in Louisville.
He was just the most incredible athlete you've ever seen. So fast, so quick, just brilliant.
And in his words, he was loud, he was brash, and he was pretty.
He would stay till the last autograph was signed. He would be photographed with the last person. That's just the type of person he is.
I'd be covering Millionaires Row at the top. And this is some of the world's most famous, gifted, interesting, rich people. The champ walks in, and he owns the whole room. The whole Millionaire Row stands up and gawks at Muhammad Ali just because of who he was. Just magic.
Tell Louisville that they have produced the greatest athlete, not fighter, but the greatest of all times, and I will be announced from Louisville, Kentucky, in the Superdome in New Orleans. I want the whole world to know that Louisville, Kentucky produces the greatest of all time.
We know him now as one of the most famous people to have ever walked the earth. But in 1954, he was just a crying 12-year-old boy mourning the loss of his bicycle.
Here's a kid that grew up on Grand Avenue in West Louisville that was bopping around town at a relatively young age as an early teenager saying, "I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest."
Cassius Clay, as he was known then, vowed to whoop the person who stole his bike, but unfortunately he never did. He did, however, find policeman Joe Martin, who told Clay he should learn to fight before engaging in any whoopings. 6 weeks later, the 89-pound youngster won his first fight against Ronnie O'Keefe.
I first remember seeing Muhammad Ali on TV. There was a program here in town on Channel 3, Wave, called Tomorrow's Champions. And I think it ran Saturday mornings or afternoons maybe. And even then, he was just so different. He'd do the clowning around, and you just couldn't help but notice him.
After graduating from Louisville Central High School in 1960, Clay traveled to Rome for the Olympic Games, where he won the light heavyweight boxing gold medal. He was just 17 years old.
It just fascinated me that he was here from our hometown, but he was making all this international news.
Congratulations. Let's take a look at that real gold medal there.
Thank you.
The highest award that can come to an amateur athlete.
I went to the Olympics in Rome, Italy. I won the gold medal for the United States. Still, I felt like a stranger.
In October of the same year, he won his first professional boxing match, going on to win the next 18 matches. 15 of those he won by a knockout.
I'm the man this poem is about. I'll be champ of the world. There isn't a doubt.
Ali made it possible for a lot of white people of my generation to see black people as human beings, to see them as individual people where they had before seen them probably as undifferentiated mass. So Ali rose above the crowd, not only of black people, but of white people. He was the most famous person in the world, and he was a black guy, a young black guy, and that is huge.
In 1964, when he was 22, Clay became the youngest person ever to take the world heavyweight title from the reigning champ.
I was a young person attracted to shiny things, and Muhammad Ali was obviously a very shiny thing in those days, a 22-year-old boxer full of bombast and self-glorification and things that irritated a lot of people.
Soon after, Clay converted to the Nation of Islam and changed his name to Muhammad Ali.
But I am a Muslim. And Muslim means a man who submits himself entirely to the will of God. I am a follower of another freedom fighter, another man who's here in America. His name is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. After accepting his teachings, I found freedom.
When he renounced his Baptist upbringing and joined the Muslims, when he changed his name, I think there were a lot of people everywhere, including here in Louisville, that really, white people especially, who were really not necessarily offended, but just really kind of taken aback.
And in 1967, when he was drafted to fight the Vietnam War, Ali refused, saying he was a minister of the Nation of Islam.
Now, champ, sometimes when a man refuses because of religious beliefs to go into the service and wear a uniform, the government will assign them to work possibly in a hospital, a federal hospital or something like this, as a civilian. Would you agree to this?
No, sir.
Champ, do you have any plans to personally participate in these?
And I don't know, sir. I won't participate.
Marches
No, sir. I'm a minister, preacher from the stand, rostrum. I'm not a marcher. Many people say to me that, and I will say that I have been warned that to take such a stand, that my prestige is at stake, and such a stand could cost me millions of dollars, which should come to me as the heavyweight champion of the world. I know that's what they're doing, killing dark people, and my people, who are Asiatic people, they're killing them up every day, innocent people, women and children, poor, hungry people, for what? And I'm not going to be part of it. I'm not going to go shoot them and kill them. That never bothered me.
Almost immediately, the World Boxing Association stripped Ali of his title, and some states took away his boxing license. 10 days later, he's indicted.
I was of draft age at that time, and when he said, I ain't got nothing against them calling, I thought, well, I don't either. And but he just became this incredible figure that was known throughout the world, who just became a champion, I think, for poor people, for underprivileged people, for the downtrodden people. And I'm not sure there will ever be anybody like him to come from the sports world ever again.
He was eventually found guilty and received the maximum sentence, a fine of $10,000 and a 5-year prison sentence. Ali appeals, and during this time, certain states allow him to fight. 4 years later, the U.S. Supreme Court reverses the decision.
But he stuck with that. He gave up millions of dollars and all his fame for something he believed in. And he was offered a chance to go in the Army and just put on sparring matches and exhibitions and not really have to fight, which he wouldn't. He just wouldn't do it. He said, I believe what I believe. I think this is wrong. And no matter what it costs me personally, I'm sticking to my guns. I'm consistent about this. I believe what I believe. And he did, and I think eventually, I'm a Vietnam age, we all look back on that war and say, what the hell was that all about? He was probably right in terms of should he have been there. But more important, he stuck by it. He gave up everything, really. He could have been, because of what he believed. It's hard to do.
Many years later, in 1984, Ali's Parkinson syndrome is made public. His symptoms include muscle tremors and slow, slurred speech.
When he lit the torch in Atlanta again, that was him saying, yes, I have a disease. It's not going to beat me. You should walk proud no matter who you are and what your condition is in life. Everybody is different. We need to love everybody no matter who they are and where they are.
An authentic yet sometimes controversial American hero, right here from Louisville, Kentucky.
He was mostly a blank slate or a blank screen on which people just projected what they thought, what they wanted Ali to be. If you wanted him to be the villain, he was the villain. If you wanted him to be a vacuous, young, immature whippersnapper, that's what he was. If you wanted him to be a towering figure in race relations and the development of the American nation, he could be that too. So he was whatever you wanted him to be.
The remarkable change that he's made from being the angry young activist of the 1960s to being this benign and widely beloved figure of world peace that he's become in his later years, that's one of the most amazing transformations that I think you'll ever see.
Yeah, he was a boxer, but he went beyond that, and his legacy will be how he interacted with humanity, with people, how he interacted with no matter who you were, no matter what phase where you came from. He was a man of the people. That was Muhammad Ali. He loved people, and we love him.
For more memories of Muhammad Ali, continue watching our collection of videos on this webpage. The Courier-Journal also has several photo galleries and an interactive timeline of his life.